I believe she does not need much of an introduction because the moment she entered our complex, there were a lot of people, in fact, people inside the newsroom wanting to get selfies. But just a quick thing, someone who started as a child artist back in the 80s and has had a meteoric rise, if I may say so, in the film industry. But for me, as a journalist, I would say that she's also a firebrand politician, extremely outspoken. Thank you, Ms. Sundar, for joining us. Let me straight away begin by asking you, Kushboo Sundar as the emerging leader from South India or the film star, the role that you enjoy the most?
A woman who believes in taking forward the yesterdays to a better tomorrow.
And for someone who has gone through a huge struggle within the film industry too, there was a lot of talk about the fact that when you moved away from, or rather drifted away from Bollywood, particularly spending more time down south, that was seen as someone who was struggling in Bollywood. Is that the case?
No, actually what happened is, it was a very personal reason why I had to move to south. I mean, I have spoken about this on quite a couple of times, but Dad left us, so I had just started doing one Telugu film, and then there was some family problems, so Dad had just left us like a hot potato. So we didn't have a place to go back to Mumbai. So I didn't have a choice. I had to stay back in Chennai. And I think I consider myself absolutely lucky that I moved to South because I found a home. And I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world when you talk about Chennai. I particularly say that I'm more of a Madrasi than being a Mumbai Amchi Mulgi. I love being called a South Indian, and I think that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
When you say that you're talking about a time period in Bollywood which was largely run by families, that was largely run by, many would say, nepotism at its best. Was that a reason why that perhaps stars like you, who to really struggle it up, you found it difficult, or would you say that this is done and dusted issue?
No, I don't think we even thought about the word nepotism way back when we started doing films. It was the new words which were coined and brought us. So first when I heard about nepotism, I was like, what does that mean? I think we were just happy doing the kind of work we were getting. We all were comfortable. We all knew our limitations as the actors. I mean, we couldn't be Rekha or Hema Malini or Madhubala or Meena Kumari. We knew our limitations. We knew this is the best we can excel at. This is the best we could do. And I think we were very comfortable in our own skin that what the kind of work we get. Yes, in Hindi, unfortunately, there were a couple of wrong films which I had done. Those days it was like you didn't have a platform where you could play any kind of role and you can still be successful. So the films where I did lead roles, whether it was with Govinda or Jackie Shroff, those films didn't do well at the box office. But when I played Anil Kapoor's sister in Meri Jung, that, was a huge success. So unfortunately, then in Mumbai, it was like once a sister, always a sister. So I think that just worked against me, though my role was appreciated. Bol Baby Bol song is still, something that people connect me with. But unfortunately, I moved to South during that time also. 86, I moved to South. So I think things were just destined to happen. So I don't have any regrets that I couldn't continue in Hindi films.
You've made, many would say, a comeback. I'm not sure whether you would like this word of a comeback, but that's how it has been largely viewed, that Kushboo Sundar has once again made a comeback to Bollywood. How do you really look at today's time versus the time that you were in earlier? Do you believe that women actors perhaps have a much more safer environment to operate in the film industry, be it perhaps in the Bollywood or anywhere else?
I've always found film industry to be the safest place to work in. I have always taken pride in saying that the kind of industry, the background I come from, I feel it's a family and I feel the safest there. Yes, even in families you have issues. My family, my film fraternity family does have issues. I'm not going to say that everything is perfect, everything is just 100% perfect and brush the problems under the carpet. We have issues. We have to face them. We have to understand them. We need to find solution to the problem. But I think bickering is something which is not acceptable.
I want everyone here in the audience also to know about something that I would say that we salute you for being so very outspoken, and that is on most of the issues, particularly when there was a controversy pertaining to the Hema Committee report, then you had the Me Too issue. You were extremely outspoken about it. What made you share something so very personal, something about your own struggle, something that you saw within your own home? Some would say that celebrities do this for some sort of a stunt, and let me be very candid with you because that's the allegation that would have been leveled. What made you really open up on what you witnessed, the sexual abuse that you went through in your own home?
First, we need to understand that I'm a mother of 2 girls. So the kind of sexual abuse what I went through, I have always been open about it to my girls because I wanted them to be in a very, very safer environment. And when I spoke about my dad, I think I was addressing a huge crowd of young minds. The girls were somewhere around from 8th standard to +2. They were studying till 12th. And most of the girls, and we were discussing the kind of problems these young girls face. And if you see, most of the children, young girls, they face this kind of sexual abuse within the family. It's 90% of the abuser is one of their close relative. And when I was addressing them, it wasn't something that I had to speak, but then when I was addressing them, I thought, being a woman, being a mother myself, it was extremely important to tell them that these things do happen, and the most important thing is to speak about it. We women, or I kept quiet for so long is because I was scared. When the abuse started, I was told that my brothers and my mom would be facing a more physical abuse by the abuser, and I was scared to speak about it. And I think now I had the courage. So I just want the young minds to speak and understand that when a problem happens, it does not make sense that you talk about it 20 years down the line. Speak. Till you don't talk about it, till you do not address the issues at the same moment, it's not going to solve the purpose.
Why is it for so very long does the film industry really brush all of this under the carpet? Particularly when you see a Hema Committee report coming out, one would say it's shocking to say the least. The reality is this, it happens in Bollywood, but the fact of the matter is that no one really acknowledges it. No celebrities do acknowledge it. Why is it so?
I was literally brought up in the film industry. I was a child actor from the age of 8. And trust me, I haven't seen this kind of an abuse. I have never seen anyone coming misbehaving with me or trying to pull my hand or putting across an indecent proposal. Even when I was absolutely new in South, any industry for that matter. Sexual assault or these kind of issues happen everywhere. Every field, you name it, it happens. Even in day-to-day life, when a girl is traveling by a public transport, these kind of assaults happen. It's just that very unfortunately, film industry, there is a huge kind of, I would say, people want to know what happens in a star's life or what happens in the film industry, that celebrity status. We are celebrated, but we also face these kind of problems where we are actually looked upon with a huge magnifying glass and people jump to conclusions. राई का पहाड़ भी बनता है, तो वो हमारे film industry में बहुत ज़्यादा बनता है.
But wouldn't you agree that women, particularly coming from small towns into the industry, face a huge backlash, perhaps worried that they cannot speak about what they have undergone? And these reports do suggest, so why be squeamish about the fact that this is a reality within the industry, that this is
a reality. I'm not saying that.
And we need to acknowledge it.
I said if people have faced it, they're talking about it, it does happen. And I say it happens everywhere. But which industry do we see a Hema Committee report coming in from, except for film industry? Which industry, which media industry, which industry you talk about? Today we are talking about, today we are celebrating women. from every walk of life. And I'm sure that every woman from every walk of life, she would say that yes, these kind of problems do exist in every possible industry. But there is a HEMA committee or Me Too only when it's pertain to film industry, is all I say.
Then let me ask you, you're also a politician. You made a comment that Tamil Nadu BJP is extremely safe for women. So let me then ask you, what about politics? Because there too, there is a big issue. We have seen several complaints coming up, especially in the run-up to elections, particularly when it comes to ticket distribution, the kind of complaints about sexual abuse. That's a reality too, and something that you have spoken about. Is Tamil Nadu BJP really that safe the way you are speaking? Because think about what you're saying, because there is something more to it.
No, I say every industry. So politics do come into that. I'm not going to bracket it saying that it's BJP or Congress or DMK or AIDMK or Tirunamul or any LDF in Kerala. I would say it happens everywhere. I have faced it. There have been times when I was campaigning for Congress and somebody tried to act smart with me in Bangalore. I turned around and I slapped that guy. He happened to be part of the party. So it happens everywhere.
What happened to the person thereafter?
I think he was suspended or dismissed. I mean, Rahul Gandhi would be the best person to answer that. What happened to the guy?
Did he respond to the questions that you had asked at that point in time with this kind of
I had the courage. I did not wait for somebody from the party to react. If some man very randomly puts his hand on my waist, I'm going to turn around and slap him. I think this is the courage which every woman needs to come up with, whoever he or she may be. Somebody puts his hand across my waist who's an absolute unknown, and I know the touch. We women, we definitely know the good touch and the bad touch. If somebody puts in his hands across my waist and I know that he's trying to feel me up, I'm not going to keep quiet saying that he belongs to the party. No. I will turn around and slap him, and I did exactly that. And I'm proud to do that. And I want every woman to stand up, irrespective if you think that what is your future going to be. Your future, your career cannot be compromised at the line of your integrity or your respectability. Nothing should come in between. Till you do not learn to respect yourself, no other man is going to respect me.
What do you then have to say to many women political leaders, some perhaps women chief ministers, when there have been horrific crimes taking place in their own state? For instance, in West Bengal, what we saw just about a few days ago, there was anger on the streets of West Bengal, that you have a woman leader. There have been statements that have been made which has trivialized the entire incident. You've had chief ministers in other states also saying that this happens in other places. What message are we really sending politicians when they make this kind of a statement? And particularly if it comes out from women leaders too. What message are you really sending?
The only thing
and why are they not being called out?
Coming to your question about what happened in West Bengal, I would like to respond to Mamata Banerjee ji later, but I would like to, give a very simple message across to every political party. I belong to a political party, but I would say as a woman, when a woman is raped or she goes through these kind of horrific incidents, what we hear and read, I think please do not put her in a bracket of any political parties or the state she belongs to. I think when a woman is raped, it's not something that this happened in BJP ruled state, this happened in Congress ruled state, this happened in Mamata Banerjee ruled state, or this happened in my state. A woman of this country is raped. She undergoes this horrific problems. She faces these kind of incidents because we all try to push it on somebody else's shoulders. I think when a woman is raped, we all need to hang our head in shame and say the woman of this country is raped. She does not belong to any, it does not matter which political party she belongs to. It does not matter which state she belongs to. I think we all need to understand that women of this country need to be safe. And we, from different political parties, we need to come together rather than making it a political drama and say that this woman was raped because it was a BJP ruled state. Or this happened in a Congress ruled state. I do not want that because that is something which really angers me. People forget that a woman has been stripped of her dignity. She is going to carry these scars, this pain all her life. And we start debating as to which political party that state was ruled. I mean, this is more horrific. And we rape her every day with our discussions. We make sure that she goes through this kind of pain every day till the discussion doesn't stop. And I think this is where we need to put a full stop and say that a woman, we need to protect her rather than making her going through this pain with a political debates about which state she belonged to. With what happened in West Bengal, it's extremely painful to see a political leader of Mamata Banerjee's stature. She comes up with such irrational, irresponsible responses to what happened in West Bengal. It pains me more as a woman because we call her Didi, and Didi is somebody you look up as a mother. A woman with absolute maternal instincts, you come up and say that this is something which happens in every other state, and you don't respond to that because you want to protect some people who are involved. Rather than saying that it shocked me, I would say it pained me a lot.
Talking about your political career, why were you missing during the Tamil Nadu elections? Because many believe that had you been on the field, had you been perhaps used more, in fact, you've had a Bollywood director, BJP sympathizer, Anand Kumar, saying that if Annamalai had taken Kushboo on board during the polls, the entire dynamic would have been different in Tamil Nadu. Does Kushboo Sundar have a problem with Annamalai?
I don't have a problem with Mr. Annamalai.
You like him? You are okay with the fact that
I respect
there have been
him.
Complaints against him by your own colleagues?
No, probably everybody has complaints against him. I have nothing to say. I would say that he is my state leader and I have respect for him for that. I have my own way of functioning. And probably that does not gel with many. I am not somebody who would be at the back and call. I am not somebody who would go and ask for work. I'm not somebody who would probably be in my office every day just to be seen and to be heard. I'm not into politics for money, or I'm not into politics for some kind of publicity. I have seen the headlines. I have seen the best of my career. I have seen people building temples for me. I have seen money. I am a self-made person. So probably my working style is a little different from others. Even if I'm in politics, I still keep my respectability, my integrity, my dignity at the forefront, and I work accordingly. So if some people find that as a hindrance to me being successful in politics, then be it. I'm fine where I am. As far as Tamil Nadu politics goes, this year I couldn't continue because it was a health issue. I was asked by the doctors not to travel. I have a tailbone fracture which I walk around. So if you see, I don't sit straight, I always sit sideways. So I started my campaign, but I was in such a bad pain that I just couldn't sit. So I was asked by the doctors not to travel at all for 3 months. So I was actually in bed for 3 months, not traveling. Not even a car journey was allowed. Not even from home to office. That car journey was also not allowed. So I was asked, like, in 24 hours, I was allowed to sit only for 3 hours, if I'm able to sit.
You could have campaigned from perhaps
No, I
video
can't
messaging
campaign.
also.
No, I can't campaign from home until unless you don't meet the people, until unless you don't go and, people, when you're campaigning, people would like to touch you. People like to hold your hands. Women like to hug you. Children like to hold you. And I'm somebody who's very, very, I would say that I love to be with them rather than being disconnected. I love to be with the crowd, be with them, walk with them, talk to them, sit with them, eat with them. And unfortunately, I couldn't do that this year.
Is there internal democracy within the party in Tamil Nadu?
I don't think so. I don't think so. If somebody has a problem, I'm sure they would be in a better position
Your
to
colleague
answer.
Tamal Sai she said that this was a party that was being run by only one person, and that is the reason why perhaps the debacle that the BJP has faced in the state of Tamil Nadu was primarily because of one person. And that one person, I hope, since you are smiling, I can safely assume, who was leading the entire campaigning. Is that true?
See, I would say with Madam Tamarisai, I always address her as Her Excellency, though she is not the governor anymore. But she has headed BJP as a state president for successful 5 years. And that's when, I think she is extremely important, and she was very successful in building the party at the grassroots level. She didn't let anything disturb her, trouble her, though people were body shaming her, they called her names, she wasn't successful. There are a lot of areas when she was a party president, BJP lost the deposit. But she didn't let any of these talks bother her, being a very, very strong woman, an educated person. She is a gynec herself, a doctor. If she has a problem with someone in the party and if she complains about it, then I'm sure that she understands what it is and she'll be the right person to give a very clear picture and more.
There is an issue.
If she's spoken about it, I'm sure there is an issue. I wouldn't want to speak on that because I don't have an issue. But we as party people, party workers rather, I would believe that we need togetherness. We need all of us to stand together. We might be a little different from each other. We may not think on the same lines. Our thinking capabilities and our way of functioning might be different. But I definitely do believe that when we all come together, we are a strong force where we can bring in a change in Tamil Nadu. And I just hope and pray that all of us stand together when the next 2026 elections are coming up.
Do you believe you can stand up as a principal opposition to the DMK in the state of Tamil Nadu? Does the BJP really have that kind of a capacity?
Yes, when we can bring in a change in the country, why not in Tamil Nadu? We can and we will, because people do ask for a change. They don't have different parties. Most of the voters have been the regular DMK, AIDMK voters. So there is a change coming. There are young minds, there are a lot of first-time voters who are coming up. So I'm sure that 2026 we're going to see a huge change.
And for women here who perhaps may be aspiring to be a politician too, is politics really a safe place for women?
Yes, it is. Depends how strong you are, not physically, but mentally. I always say, like generally when I wanted to enter politics, people said, oh, you have to have a buffalo skin to enter politics. After being in politics for 14 years, I would say that you need a hippopotamus skin to be in politics. So nothing should penetrate within you. But it's a beautiful place to be in. You can make a change. And I want a lot of young girls to come into politics because this is such a young country. And we are talking about women. First, I would like to say, please don't say that, we are breaking the glass ceilings. No, you're way beyond that. You're way, way beyond that. Why is that the term, whenever a woman wants to succeed, it's like, oh, women is breaking a glass ceiling. We do not use that term with men. They said, arey, it's very normal for a man to succeed. So, I mean, the minute you say that a woman has succeeded and you're breaking the glass ceiling, ab apne aap ko neecha dikha rahe ho. You're way beyond everyone and anyone. So I would say that please come into politics. We need fresh minds. We need thinking minds. We need people, especially women, to say that how we can take the country forward. If a woman can make a home, she can definitely make this country too.
What about the fact that there are families who would always prevent, saying that, look here, this is a dirty profession altogether. So you don't really get into it. You don't really venture into politics at all. And then comes the gender debate. Do you believe that is done and dusted? I think so we've come a long way now. That it's time to...
Gender equality?
Yeah, to a certain extent, as far as political parties are concerned, or any other walk of life.
That exists. I will completely agree to that. It exists across all political lines. But I also blame the women also because they feel that they will not be able to give so much of time. There's a family. And unfortunately, what I have seen across with so many elections, women are given the ticket, but it's a men who rule. कि खाली बीवी को आगे रख लिया, बहन को आगे रख लिया, but then I will continue dictating terms as to how she has to function. And women do not have a choice. They win the ticket, they win the election, but most of the time it's the men who actually call the shots. So I want women also to come forward, and I want men to understand that women are capable of bringing in the change. So accept that that women are stronger and probably not physically as strong as you, but mentally. And I feel that when you talk about, even you say Nari Shakti, so every woman is born with a Shakti within her. Why not give her that space to use to the best of capacity. And I would tell the woman, I'm a mother of 2 young girls, 24 and 22. I tell my girls, and that's what I would like to tell all the girls here. Don't wait for men to give you that position. It's yours. Just grab it. Move forward.
When you were heading the NCW, someone as fierce like you, so very outspoken, and you wouldn't mince a word, were you frustrated that you couldn't do enough as in a leading position within the NCW?
I wouldn't say frustrated, but yes, we have our own conditioning way of working. We do not have the powers to actually take the law in our hands. We are very dependent on the law. So yes, we solve the problems. Yes, we do help a lot of women. The kind of complaints that keep coming in, we do solve their problems. But then there are so many cases where we do not find enough support from the legal system. So we cannot take legal system in our hands. And that I find is a little more handicapped. Had we given a little more broader spectrum to address certain issues, I'm sure NCW would do much, much better.
Dare I ask this question because this has become a raging debate in our newsroom too. This is about men's right. After Atul Subhash's case, there was this entire thing that, of course, as a country, there are a lot of issues that we are fighting with, and particularly with regards to women. This is a reality we are fighting with. Having said that, there are laws for women. Many would argue that does not exist as far as men are concerned, and perhaps talking about men's right is almost like a taboo in this country too. What happens to that?
It's never a one-way traffic, it's a two-way traffic. And I think we need to accept the fact that if women are abused, many areas men are abused too, and we cannot deny that. I think when we talk about equal rights, if we women can fight for our rights, if we expect men to come and stand by us, I think we women also should stand by men who go through these kind of abuse and say that, yeah, we are with you. I never say that for women it has to be special. We need to be specialists because unfortunately most of the men don't think that women need that kind of support. Not every woman is supported by the family. I have seen families where a woman is sexually abused, but then for them, their family stature, the prestige, the reputation of the family is far more important than rather taking the girl to the cops and saying that this man has abused my woman. Because अरे यार वो फिर कल को उसकी शादी नहीं होगी, what will happen to our family stature in public's eye, और हमारी society में एक position है. I think we need to rise above that, whether it's a boy or a girl. If there is an abuse, we need to stand together. And till we don't learn to stand together, supporting each other, we will never be able to fight this kind of an abuse.
One final word. We talk about Viksit Bharat. Can we at all be a Viksit Bharat if we still see women facing what they do in this country? If we still have cases like Abhaya happening, can we really be a Viksit Bharat? So perhaps today, from this very platform, Kushboo, what is it that you would like to tell the women who are watching you tonight, and also men who are watching, and what is it they can do in order to bring about the much needed change in our society?
Viksit Bharat is a dream of a Prime Minister, and I think we all can achieve. It's not very far. One thing which I would like to send a message across from this platform today is Viksit Bharat should start from every home. The day the mother stops telling her daughter, "Arey tum ladki ho, this is all your limitations are." The day a woman stops taking the abuse by the hands of the men at home in front of her children or even otherwise. The day you tell children that your boys, okay, this is how a woman has to be treated, but tell him that this is how a woman has to be respected. I think we cannot think of having a Viksit Bharat. The first school is home. The first teacher is your mother, and the first Mata Pita Guru Daivam. So it's Mata Pita who are your first teachers. Until you do not teach your children how to respect women, till the women do not stand up for themselves and say, enough, I'm not going to take it anymore, I think we cannot think of it. But I'm sure with the changing times, with the girls, with their new minds, because I always related the way my girls think, and I say, they're the girls of today, and if that is what the thinking is, that we will stand for ourselves and we believe in equality, I don't think Viksit Bharat is a faraway dream. We will achieve that very soon.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sundar, for joining us. And I think so, like always, you've been outspoken, you've answered everything. Thank you very much for the powerful message. Thank you.
Thank you very much.